Okay. Hello. Hello, back in the basement poker room. Quick video today. If you're new to portrait photography, you're probably wondering what lens or lenses you should pick up. Now, if you use one of the more common brands of cameras, and chances are you do, there are so many lenses to choose from. I use Nikon cameras, and Nikon alone has a plethora of lenses to choose from. And also other companies make lenses for the Nikon F mount. And all these lenses may get confusing to you. Just so you guys know, I shoot with Sigma lenses. I use the 35 1.4, which is recording this video right now, as well as the 85 1.4. So you might be wondering what type of lens you should pick up for portrait photography. Well, I'm making this video to try to help you choose, help you make a good decision on what lens you should pick up. And put this down, this thing is like 25 pounds. So here are 3 important things to consider when choosing the right lens for your portrait photography. Number 1, prime or zoom lenses. So right off the bat, I'll say that I prefer prime lenses over zoom lenses for portrait photography. Zoom lenses have their own use. It's great for landscape photography, but for portraits, primes win in my opinion. The main reason why primes are my choice for portrait photography is because they are slightly sharper than zoom lenses. Now, sharp images are important for all types of photography, but some types, for example, landscape photography, you can kind of sort of get away with softer focus images. This is not the case for portraits. To make great portraits, especially close-ups, you need to have your subject's face in proper focus, or at least their eyes. Now, zooms are great for capturing unexpected movements without having to move your body and run closer up to your subject. You just zoom in and you take a shot. But since portrait sessions are a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more posed, and you don't have to capture a specific moment in time that's never going to happen again, you can recompose your shot by moving closer into your subject or further back at your own pace. So, number 2, focal lengths. Now that we established that primes are probably the better option for portrait photography, the next question to ask yourself is, what should that focal length be? I use 2 focal lengths on portrait sessions. I use 35mm and I use 85mm. After years of experimenting with different focal lengths, I came to the conclusion that these 2 focal lengths suit my style of shooting. 35mm works great for full body shots. It's more flattering on body shapes than say 18 or 24mm, and at the same time I don't have to go miles back to capture my model from head to toe. And this is great because you can still communicate with your model without having to shout for them to hear you. Now, if I'm doing an upper body shot or just a face shot, I use the 85. With this focal length, I can capture a good close-up without having to be right up on my model. For close-up images, yes, I could use a 35mm lens, but this may make your model's face look a little bit wider than it actually is. 85mm does a great job of slimming the face. 85 is great as well for when you're using off-camera flash. Because this focal length is more zoomed in, you'll have less chance that your flash modifier and stand will be photobombing your shot. So you might ask yourself, well, why not a 50mm lens? And if you're just starting off and you're only looking to buy one lens, a 50mm lens is a great place to start. It's good for close-ups and full body shots, and if I had to choose just to shoot with one lens, it would be a 50mm lens. Number 3, aperture. You want a lens with a low aperture, at least 2.8. In order to really make your subject stand out, you want to blur the heck out of that background. Both my 35 and my 85 are the 1.4 versions, and they do a great job of blurring the background. I don't always shoot at 1.4 though, because when I want my model's entire face to be in focus from nose to ear, 1.4 would be too low. But having the option to go down to 1.4 is great. A lens with a low aperture is also great for low light situations. So if you shoot indoors a lot, this will help. Low aperture lenses are usually the more expensive ones, but trust me, they are worth it. I always tell my friends that I rather shoot with a cheap camera body and expensive lens than an expensive camera body with a cheap lens. Okay, so some recommendations. So both Nikon and Canon have 1.8 versions of their 35mm lenses and their 50mm lenses, as well as their 85mm lenses. These lenses are not particularly expensive. I have owned the 35mm lens from Nikon, the 50 and the 85 to 1.4 versions, and they were all great. And I would be comfortable shooting with those lenses again today. By all means, if you have the money, if you're looking for more expensive lenses, then go ahead, buy the 1.4 versions, even the 1.2 version. But starting off with the 1.8 versions of these lenses are a great way. Alright, well, thank you guys for watching. I hope this video will help you on your quest to find the right portrait lens for your photography. Remember to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, drop it in the comments below. You can follow me on Instagram as well to see some of my work. So see you in the next video.